What's up? Got this TWOSUN. Let's go ahead and get it unboxed. And we'll check it in, take it apart, clean it up, see what it's made of. Let's see what's going on in here. Got our standard double packing. Tucked in there pretty good. Get it out of here. Find out what we got. All right. I can already see that it's going to be our standard oily mess, which I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't mind the mess. All right, let's clean up our area here. Get rid of all this. I don't know why I keep all this stuff, but I keep it all. All right. So this is a TS501. TWOSUN TS501. Let's wipe all this oil off of there. See if we can't see what's underneath there. It's got a couple of serrations cut into that G10. All right, let's see how she pops. Ooh, there we go. Nice detent. Little wipe on that blade, I guess. Ooh, pretty nice. Yeah, it's already better just from opening it once. It's got a nice little ring when it shuts. I like this blade shape. Fits well in the hand. Looks like David Chin. Reasonable pocket clip. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's get it apart and cleaned up. Okay. Ooh. That one's tight. That's kind of a good sign, but we're not going to let it deter us from getting in there. I'm guessing there's some Loctite on this. And there is just a little bit right on the end. No worries. That's a good thing. Take the pressure off that detent. I'm going to say there's another screw under there, so let's get these out. We'll remove this pocket clip. It's fighting me a little too much to just need some coaxing. See if the scale come off. Well, there's not another screw under there, but I'm glad. I was going to take that off anyways, for as bad as that looks. See if I can run this screw out. Yeah, well, sometimes I have to run this one screw back in slightly so I can press out that pin. I mean, I know you can stick your screwdriver down in there to do that, but I only like to do it so much because, man, I'd be frustrated if I marred those threads up and then I couldn't put it back together properly. So what's holding this is this pin right here. This pin's out. This doesn't have any leverage anymore. I could tell you if my hands were dry and chapped, I'd be in good shape here because, man, I'm getting the oil rub down right now. Yeah, so this front pin is released. It's all down to this back pin. There we go. Whew, this one's oily. Oily, oily. Yeah, that pin, stubborn. I'm not going to mess with it. If it comes out, I'll be happy. If it doesn't come out, I'll be happy. So let's get all this oil wiped off here. Nice shiny metal scale here. Liner. So these knives, this TS501, I think on eBay I paid less than $30 for this knife with the D2 steel and the G10 scales. And I have acquired a fair number of these. So this knife has turned into a gift knife for me. These are, I mean, obviously I'm a fan of TWOSUN knives, and so this knife is a great little, I run into somebody and they need a pocket knife, or they don't have a pocket knife, or we talk about pocket knives. It's a great opportunity for me to gift somebody a knife. It's a good knife, built well. It's got reasonable materials for what it is. You know, if I spent a lot more for it, then maybe we'd have that conversation. But for what I'm paying for these, so if you can see in there, this is why these knives come apart. I mean, they've done their best to protect these knives and ship them, and I think they do a great job manufacturing them. I know there's conversations about quality control, and you know, there's occasionally one of these knives come out that you kind of go, man, I mean, a little research with the prototype would have helped. When you're talking about contacting the blade from the back side, maybe the tip, you know, some of these things. But these are good knives. And for what I paid for this knife and what I'm paying for these make great gifts. I give them away, and I tend to find them in the people's pocket that I give them to, because they're a nice little carry knife. Not too big. Definitely hold a nice edge, and they're not so nice that you can't put it to work. So right now I'm getting all this shipping oil off of it. Try to get this Loctite off the end of this. And I'll probably end up redoing that. I'm guessing if they put it in, there's a reason. It's probably running light. Okay. So it's all clean, and there's nothing left to do here except put it back together. Make this our base. It'd help if I put the scale on, I guess. There we go. Get this other pin in. Set it down. There we go. Throw that backspacer on. Okay. Let's get a bearing. A few drops of the good old number 9. Blade. I'm going to pivot that out of the way and get this other pin replaced. Might have to pull that blade off to do it. No, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's going about as well as I would need it to go. Get this end screw in down here. That'll hold everything for me. I think I'll get my speedier screwdriver. It's got a nice little recess slot for the pocket clip. The screws aren't so much so, but they're rounded. So I'm gonna say that I don't predict them to have a whole lot of resistance going in and out of a pocket. And then I'm going to try this screw without Loctite and see if it bites. See if it's got some pressure on it. I don't think there's any reason to unnecessarily Loctite a blade. I mean, that's about as solid as it gets right there. There's no movement in that blade anyway. Let's check the action. I mean, maybe it's a little tight, not quite drop shut. A little shake takes it home, but I might be able to tune that. There's definitely pressure in there. Might be some Loctite left inside there. Yeah, almost perfect drop shut action right there. Takes it all the way home. Just shy of the end. I'm sure with a little bit of work, that thing will run perfectly. check that centering. I mean, looks good. So I can't get that tip. I can't get the blade on the back, so no TWOSUN curse here. Yeah, that thing's running really well now. A little bit of jimping on that back, that flipper tab. It's got a pretty nice bite. Let's check that edge. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. It could use maybe just a touch of a strop. I'm sure that it'll improve with a strop. Yeah, so nice and cleaned up. I think I'm going to run it on my strop here real quick, just to take whatever burr is on there. Take me a quick second and recheck that edge. Make sure that we're right where we want to be. So I use a work sharp. And I've sharpened knives a lot of different ways, but for me, there's nothing that takes me less amount of time and gives me as good an edge, mirror polished edges, super tough edges. And I think it's just like anything, it's preference. How well does it work for you? Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with where that's gone. I matched these bevels. These bevels come in on my machine. They come in around 16 or 17% or degrees. And so with that, I matched that up. So it's a full blade strop. And then I can follow up with a hand strop if I need to. I've got some felt blades that I've been running lately, and some Scotch-Brite stuff that I've found. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that. To get it checked in, get it slicing, functional. All right. TWOSUN TS501. So these come in green and blue. And nice little handy, inexpensive pocket knife with a great action once it's tuned and checked in. I think all these that I've touched run about the same. They all run that same edge. They sharpen well. Great little pocket knife for somebody. So, appreciate it. Thanks for watching.